Hey, hey, welcome to Friday the 13th, folks. I hope you can hear me. It says you can. Sometimes I don't know. Uh, so I got some things to talk about today. But I start out with this, okay? Is this the. No, that's the other story. Okay. Today's Friday the 13th. Now, people all over the world tend to be a little superstitious about Friday the 13th. It's my understanding that Hexeth can be very superstitious at times, and so can the Megas, and so can Trump. So I say to those people, don't get out of bed today, because karma is a bitch. So let's see what happens. Let's see if Friday 13th can work its magic on the wicked people in the U.S. government, huh? We'll have to wait and see about that one. All right. Another little humorous story. Hexeth claims that the Iranian leader was disfigured in one of the attacks. But there's a problem that Hexeth doesn't understand when he says things like that. No matter what that I do to that guy's face, he's still going to be better looking than he is. Okay, now I said, and then we had six people killed in a friendly situation, an accident. I don't know what happens, but based upon what I'm thinking, two oil tankers in the air tankers, must have collided, since one is partially damaged and the other one crashed, killing all six people aboard it. I don't think they lived very long. Whether there was just vapors or whatever, those things go up, they go up. It's a very, very dangerous job, but one that's necessary in peace and in war, to keep our aircraft in the air at all times. So, sad thing there. I wanted to find out. I'm not sure, but I think we had. I think that might make over close to 10 people killed in friendly fire or by non uh, war effort. Because there was there was three jets shot down. Things like that. There's a lot of friendly fire shit going on over there, and there's a lot of accidents going on over there, and that's not really, uh, considering the short period of time that we've been involved in this, that's really not, I don't know what the term is, expected, It really isn't. They said they claim anywhere between 14 and 25% of casualties in a major battle can be from friendly fire. Even though it's not proven, nobody says anything like that, but guys get shot in the back all the time. I was in basic training, and we went through this one infantry maneuver that with live ammo, and I was scared to death because the guy behind me was an idiot. And there's only about 20 or so feet between you, and you're advancing on a target, and they're firing cover fire. You know, can get hairy. Usually it's the guy that's doing the running. You start running in the zigzag. You're not supposed to run straight. You run in the zigzag pattern, and you got a guy behind you that's running the same kind of pattern. If you're not running the exact same pattern, at some point in time you're going to cross, and it's quite possible that you shoot the guy in the back by mistake. And a lot of times they don't even realize it. You just go and keep messing around and everything like that. Uh, did I figure out what that says? No, I didn't figure out what that said. Okay. But, it's a bad situation, and now you're over, I think you're up to around 14 people have been killed over there, and that's starting to be a magic number, because you start to see these double figures, people start getting upset. And you got what's his name? What's her name from the press secretary keeps mentioning the draft, which is like a death knell for any Republican. Trust me, that would definitely be the end of the mega party. There's nothing they could do to stop it. Trump is not being making a lot of noise. He's doing a lot of things very, very quietly, putting proclamations forward and whatnot himself to try and stop his loss of a majority due to the midterms. He doesn't want the midterm elections to happen, or if he does, he wants to be able to control them. But the minute he starts doing that, and he does that, he takes away the one thing that the honest people in this country have been looking forward to: the opportunity to express their point of view in a honest election. Now, if that doesn't happen, that let's say that the election doesn't happen at all, Trump takes away that opportunity for people to express their point of view. So how are they going to do it? They're going to go to the streets. They're going to man the battlements. That's going to turn into a real mess. And Trump can't handle a real mess. It's really bad. We had some injuries. We had a couple of people shot. Now there was two cities involved there, and miles apart. And there were incidences of violence, gunshots fired. They're pretty sure the one guy was an ISIS supporter that had been in the army, and he got discharged for his bad discharge for being a sympathizer to ISIS, and he'd been in jail for some things that he did with ISIS, and he got out, and he's the one that killed somebody. So I'm sitting here saying to myself, this is going to get out of hand soon, and it's mostly Trump's fault, because there's two reasons apparently that people are upset. One is they're anti-Semitic, which means they're against the Jews. Which I'm not against the Jewish people. I'm against the Jewish government, the Israeli government, for the genocide they've committed over there. I guess they take it that commandment, do unto others as you would have them do unto you, rather strongly or something. Or they interpret it a different way than I would have. But these aren't even the people that committed the genocide against them originally, So I have no idea what's going on, but that appears to be a trend. It's like white supremacy. That's always been around. And so is anti-Semitism, but I don't understand why. If these guys want to walk around New York City wearing black suits, hats, and growing long beards, and they want to do it in July, more power to them, I'm not standing next to them, though, because they ain't going to smell good. That's just, more bullshit coming down the pike, folks. Boy, bullshit. So what's going on other than that? The two shoot. That's just going to make life very, very hard. That gets closer to Trump's desire for martial law. It doesn't help either side. It just makes martial law more of a topic of discussion. I'm doing house cleaning when I talk to you here. You understand that I have what a morning I had. The reason I went straight to that, I had to go straight to this video was that I came home with plenty of time. I was going to do the, I sat down to do the posted, my posted video, get that out there first. And my wife decided that, we're having company. Now I asked her this morning, was anybody going to, coming today? And she said no. And then I get so and so and her sister coming. Can you vacuum the house? Yeah, I vacuumed the house. Can you take my clothes down? Yes. Can you do this? Yes. Can you do that? Yes. In the meantime, I don't move fast anymore. These were 10-minute jobs that took 25 minutes. And the next thing I know, it's like 10:59, and I got to get this up here. And I said, oh well, here I am, and I'm late. I was late with this one, not a whole lot late, but I was late, and I just, it's frustrating when you get up, you wake up and you get out of bed, you take your shower and everything. It's 7:30 in the morning. You're done. Wow, I'm really ahead of time. I could probably get all the things I want to get done today, and then the next thing you know, something happens. But that I have to accept that. I'm not going to be able to help her much longer. I don't think the way my health is going. I mean, I sit here and I look fine, but I got to tell you, if my back isn't the reason I got pain back there, then it's my prostate. And if it's my prostate, it's getting to be the size of a softball because it hurts, you know. And I can't get the drugs. She just had my cholesterol drug. She won't go get it for me because it costs too much to have it delivered. I said, well, let me pay somebody to go get it for us, Come on. It's reached a point where it's just bullshit, And she's got special shoes coming for her, and she wants her brother-in-law, her ex-husband is going to pick them up for her. And I said, you should do it yourself. He said, let me call John and tell him, ask him to come down and take you over there. No, 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 no. Nothing that would make my life any easier, but if it's making her life easier, she'll pester the shit out of everybody. That's just the way things are around here. You know what I'm saying? All right, so what else is happening? There was something else that went on, and I can't remember what it was. I like the Hegseth story, though. I mean, he's got to have press conferences every day now because I don't know why. What is it? Trump is having trouble speaking again. I haven't understood why Trump would get out there and talk about security and everything when you realize something that if you followed his career, he did not. One of the big issues they had with him his first term was he did not read security briefings that came to the cabinet every day. Every morning they were given to him. He didn't read them. He operated off the top of his skull. The first election, it didn't have that drastic effect that it has now. We're in a war that he doesn't understand. That it's like analysts and other people saying, if this thing goes on 1,000 years, Iran's never going to surrender. You're going to have to wipe them off the face of the earth. And that's what the Jews want, or the Israeli government wants. I shouldn't say Jewish people, for the most part, that I talk to aren't real happy about this situation. I don't think they're cheering on the genocide that went on in Gaza. And that was genocide. I don't care what you say. I mean, they were down there trying to wipe out a class of people. America's tried that. We tried it with the American Indians. It didn't work. They tried it with several other nationalities, with blacks and whatnot in certain parts of the country. You've seen it. It just doesn't work because there's just not enough people that want to see that. Oh, God, guys. I don't know. Well, listen up. I'm done with this video. Thank God. I probably have some other things to do, but I'm going to try and get the posted video up in a little while, in a few minutes. All right. So just give me a few minutes to get my act together. I got to go pee. You know, when you get old, man, there's a lot of things you got to go do, you know. All right. So listen, everybody, you take care. Uh, it's Friday the 13th. Watch yourselves, you know. Just a little short story it is. I used to take exams and love to take exams on Friday the 13th. Number one, for whatever the reasons were, they were always very, very, very simple for me. And not everybody else. But the curve was different. You know, so if I was getting a B, I got an A. I used to get A pluses on these exams. I turned term papers in on Friday the 13th, and I was guaranteed an A plus. You know, write a composition, and the teacher would come back and tell me I should be a writer. You know, all these things happen on Friday the 13th. You know, it's a good day for me, and I don't know why. You know, I'm not an evil person, corrupt maybe, but not evil. All right, everybody, take care, and I will. Yep, we're going to leave the page. Talk to you tomorrow, guys.